Hey everybody, the provider here. Today we're going to talk about leather care. Whether it's your leather boots that we have here in front of me, or whether it's leather wallets, leather belts, leather coats. The tips that I talk about and the procedures I go through today can be applied to anything, and as long as we use some common sense, everything's going to work out just fine.
Don't touch mine.
In front of me you'll see here the tools and the products I use to take care of my leather. We have a nice 100% Kiwi horsehair brush. We have this wonderful Made in America Liebman scrub brush. At the very front here I have my Obenoff's heavy duty leather protector. Behind that I have my Obenoff's leather oil. Over here I have 100% virgin cold pressed coconut oil. And finally, we have the Stormy Kromer koozie with beverage of choice inside. So we're going to start off here with these 12-year-old Red Wing work boots. I just had these resoled for the 9th time. 9 new soles on this. I had to have these toe protector caps put on because I wore through the leather, and these are even pretty beat up. Just this past time, the welting in the front here had to be replaced. So these boots have been worn hard. They've been put away wet quite a few times, but they're still working. They're still viable because I have taken the steps to protect them, to condition them, and to take care of them. I didn't, when I first wore them, I didn't know any better. So there was a few years there where they were left out to the elements and left unprotected. And that was my fault for not knowing better. But I'm hoping you don't make those same mistakes. So I'll show you some close-ups of what these boots look like, and then I'm going to take you through the steps of how to clean them and condition them. Here are my 12-year-old Red Wing work boots. I just had them resoled earlier this week, and I want to take the time to make sure that the leather's cleaned up and protected and replenished. That way they're going to last me for hopefully at least another year or two. So right here I'm going to show you up close on these boots. You can see how this leather is starting to crack here. It's starting to crack all along here, right where the toe meets this leather upper. That's because right there when you're walking and moving and working, that toe's always flexing. And when that toe's always flexing like that, that leather is always working. This is the spot that the leather works the most. This is the spot where it wears out the easiest. Besides the toe cap. The welting had to be replaced along the front here. It was a rubber welt. There's a good view of it right there. It was a rubber welt. My shoe repair guy, Louie, he just cut that rubber welt off and then replaced it with a leather welt. So I'm going to take you through and we're going to clean these boots up, and then we will hopefully get a better picture of what they look like. Okay, so I'm going to start off here by cleaning up my work area so I got a nice clean spot to work with. I'm going to take you through the process of what I do to clean the boots. Right now, these boots aren't too dirty. We got a little dirt on them. The thing that I really like about this Liebman scrub brush, it's got a plastic scraper here. So I can get it in and start scraping off all this dirt. Once I get that dirt scraped off, I just hit them with the bristles. And the bristles are, I would say, in between a coarse bristle and a fine bristle. They're a nice medium. So I'm just going to come in here with this plastic scraper part, get all the dirt off that I can. Especially around the back here, kind of dirty. See all that dirt coming off. So quickly hit these with that scraper. And then I want to take out my laces. Should have done that first. Definitely want to take out your laces. Gives you a good time to check on your laces and make sure that they're in good condition. because right now is the time, if they're not in good condition, that you're going to want to get rid of them. These are still looking really good, so I'm going to set that right down in there, that way I don't lose it. And I can fold open these eyelets here, these eyelet tabs, and I can see that there's just a bunch of sawdust and wood chips and dirt in there. So I'm going to start by scraping that all out of there, scraping the tongue, brushing that all out. It's usually the dirtiest part of the boot. Most stuff is built up in there. So really get in there. I'm going to brush the whole boot. Just going to brush any of the dirt off. Man, they're already looking good. I will say that. So just by brushing, I'm gonna bring these in closer and show you guys the difference. Okay, so we're gonna take a look and see the difference between one boot that's been brushed and the other boot that hasn't had any care. So here you go. Just after brushing the boot with that Liebman scrub brush with a nice medium bristle, it's looking pretty good already, and that's the result of conditioning and caring for my boots previously. Because I've taken the steps and have cared for them previously, anytime I do just a little bit of maintenance to them, they already start to look a lot better. So let's compare this one that's been brushed to this one here that hasn't been. And you can see it's still pretty dirty. So just brushing it makes it look so much better. And it really opens up the pores of that leather, lets it dry out, which is, you don't want your leather to stay wet, because that's when it starts to break down, and that's why we have these cracks here. It's because this leather was allowed to stay wet and wasn't cared for when I initially got them. So I'm going to take you on to step 2 with these boots here, and then after that will be step 3, which is conditioning them. Hang on. Step 2 of your leather care process, I like to wipe the boots down with a baby wipe. You could use a paper towel with water, a really light dish detergent as well if you really needed to get some extra cleaning power, but nothing above that. And I really like using baby wipes or just a paper towel with water. I don't like using saddle soap. I feel like it strips way too many of the fats and oils away from the boot when it cleans it, and this just has worked well for me. And the way I look at it is, if it's good enough for a baby's butt, then it's good enough for my leather boots. So you just take this here and we're going to clean up the boots, get some more of that dirt and grime off there, so that when we go to condition them, it is nice and clean. We got all the dirt out of it. It's just good to go. It's good to go. We're not going to trap any of those dirt particles into the leather when we condition it. So just give it a good scrub with this. Usually takes me about 1 wipe per boot, depending on, and if they're really nasty, if they're really dirty, 2. So it's nothing excessive, and it works out pretty well. So the only issue that I have is that maybe a rag with some water on it would work better, is when you're down here next to this welting. Since this welting is rigid and it's got a bunch of ridges on it, it kind of tears these wipes up a little bit. So I am a little gingerly when I am using the wipe down there. Make sure you get inside these eyelet tabs here and take care of those. So there we go. Make sure you get the tongue really good, especially where the laces have worn a groove. You want to get in there and get all that dirt and grime and anything that's built up in there. You want to get that cleaned out. And finally, just hit the toe cap real quick, clean that off. So you see here, and this thing it's kind of nasty where I used it. Look at that. It's pretty dirty. We got a lot of dirt off there. This side I didn't really use. It'd be good for me to come back again and just give it a final wipe down. You can see, look at that one. We're still getting stuff off there. So just be thorough in wiping them down. And after you wipe this one down and you move on to your next boot, you wipe that one down. By the time you get done wiping this, this boot's dry and it's ready to be conditioned right after. So it's a pretty simple process. Okay. Make sure you click on the little I, the information button there. That'll give you the card for the next video in the series. Make sure you check that out. I'm going to have a super secret tip in that towards the end on making sure your laces last a little bit longer. Really appreciate you guys watching. Please like the video and subscribe. Have a good day.